This is AubreyS from Brownsville Games, and here's another episode of a game show walkthrough. Currently, I'm going to play a game show that was more of a regional thing in California in the 2000s. If you've seen this game show before, it's based off of the lottery, the California lottery. They've been doing it for a long time in terms of lottery-based game shows. For instance, The Big Spin was a very popular game show of the 80s and 90s. That became the huge craze for lottery players to get themselves on television. And now we fast forward, and of course the big craze is the Powerball lottery tickets and scratch-offs and other related lottery product. And they decided to create a game show based off of the Powerball, IP. And they created a Millionaire game show called Powerball Instant Millionaire. So we're going to go to it right now. And we're going to play it. And the way that it works, and I'm going to actually pull up the instructions. I know how to play it, but I feel that if you all watch it, you might want to see it. So, prior to the show, contestants will be seated, and a randomizer will determine who will play in a series of games. Now, the first game is called Crazy Eights, and how it works is that you have a bunch of numbers displayed that looks like cards, right? The 4 of spades, 4 of hearts, 4 diamonds, 4 clubs, and you play that game. The second game is called High Rollers, and the job is to try to get something that's higher than the value of 7. And then the quick pick is basically someone gets Powerball, they get to play in the final game. Alright, so a lot of text, but I just want to show it to you. Here are the computers, and here are all the names, and I'm going to actually turn myself off because I want to play. And let's see if I can become an instant millionaire. Randomizer determines the first 3 players, so Timothy will go first. I will be playing, and Teresa will be playing. So let's see if I can make it to the next round of competition. Though this is the Crazy Eights game, and you want to get something above the 4 to start. So I'm going to pick 13, and that's a 5. I'm going to keep on going because I know that there's a lot of cards I can flip over. And I boosted another number. And I'm going to keep on going one more time, and I'm going to pick number 15. Ooh, bad pick. So I lose my turn. Teresa goes, number 7, and she draws an 8, which is the first of the 4 numbers that need to be converted to an 8 in order to win that cash prize and move on to the next game. She picks number 18. And ooh, so everyone has a strike. Number 12, he picks an 8. So now there are 2 numbers that are converted. Picks the next card. Behind number 14, it's a 2, which is not the right card. Puts him to strike 2. I get to play. Number 3 is an 8. And I am going to go one more time. Number 1. Oof, made a mistake right there. So that's strike 2. Behind number 11 is a 5, and that's a strike 2. So at this point, everyone is down to their final out. Behind number 5 is a 6. That puts Timothy out of the game. I can't strike out. Number 17. And I'm out of the game as well, which means Teresa will end up moving on to the semifinals. I'm knocked out of the game. And, yeah, let's just continue to see how this game plays, because unfortunately I won't be playing for $1 million. That's the thing. If you get knocked out, you are unable to play any other game. So you gotta win, essentially, on this game. So here we are. The job here is to try to get a roll of a 7 or better, basically, or avoiding the 7, I believe. And you have to pick behind a chip. And you see, you don't want to hit 7. So it's anything but a 7, and you get another strike. So there's 2 strikes already distributed to 2 players. And everyone now has a strike. So again, everyone needs to avoid getting a 7. Sarah gets an extra 100. She's up to 1,200. Passes it to Junie. And that's an 8, so that's $100. Jackpot is already up to $4,017. Mike gets to play. Draws an 11. Alright, so up to $5,028. Passes it over to Sarah. Sarah with 1 strike picks number 13, and that's a 3. So now that's $1,300 up to $6,031. And Sarah goes again. Number 14, it's a 7, so that's another strike. Control goes to Junie. Number 20 is another strike, because that's a 7. Mike, number 19. And everyone is drawing their strikes, and it all comes down to 1 chip for Sarah. Could she survive? And she does, with another $100 up to $1,400. Player pass, she's going to play it. Sarah picks number 15, and that is strike 3. So she's knocked out. It's now between Junie and Mike. High number 17, it's a 10. So that's another 100, and with that, that's enough for Junie to move on to the semifinals game. And the quick draw determines who's going to move on, because someone has the Powerball, and it's Laura. So Laura will be playing in the final game. So here's how the semifinals work. You're drawing Powerballs. Anything other than that, like that, strike, can knock you out of the game. So now we go to Junie. That's a Powerball. Laura picks number 13, and that's a strike. So that's strike 1 for Laura, and back to Teresa with a strike. Number 7 is another strike. 1 more, and she's out of the game. Junie picks a 6, and that's a Powerball. She can play or pass, and wants to continue. Behind the 9 is a strike. So now Junie picks her first strike. Laura goes in, and that's a Powerball. 2 more Powerballs are left, and whoever finds the last one will be the winner and will get to play for $1 million. Behind number 11 is another strike. So now everyone but Junie has 2 strikes. Teresa needs to find a Powerball quick, and it is another Powerball. There's 1 more remaining. She can play it or pass it, and she's going to go for the final ball. Is she a winner? She will be playing for $1 million, and Junie and Laura are knocked out of the game. You get $1,000. Find the $sign without drawing a strike, and you will win $1 million for $2,000. That's a strike already. So you're no longer playing for $1 million. You can still win up to over $100,000. You can keep the $1,000 or move on, and we'll continue for $2,000. Teresa picks a W. And that's a $sign. Now you're up to $2,000. Play. She will. Picking another letter. Picks the L. And that is not a $sign. So you'll end up with $1,000 for the game. Total winnings is $10,288 in cash, and that's how Powerball, High Rollers, or whatever the damn name is, Powerball Instant Millionaire. That's how the game works. Hope you liked it.